eRacing League. Welcome. Baku this week, joined by Zippo. I am Feldman 9000 as we continue to be this streaming juggernaut. Tier 2 today. Pretty excited. Baku, very potentially to be an insane race. And Zippo, are you excited?
Absolutely, yeah, we are. Good to be back. Good to be back, guys, and yet another co-commentator here with me this evening. I promise you, it's nothing that I do. That's for sure. They just seem to want to throw us all in the mix together. It seems so. Yeah, great to be here. Can't wait. Can't wait to get going here. Baku. Oh, that is not what you want to see in Baku either.
This is, like I just said, it could potentially get very insane. And I'm trying to see if these two match up. I really need two screens to do this with. I do notice that looks like it's 1-to-1 here. Maybe my upload speed on mine isn't as good. But we are here looking like everybody's going to intermediate, so it's not a bludgeon of puddles, but still, there's going to be some tight sections. There is going to be some loose rear ends here as we get ready for quali.
Yes, and already we've got the Haas coming out here. I think that's going to be Folksy. Yeah, it is. So Folksy coming out. Obviously, I think that will Patty Pat qualify in top 8. They're saying Patty Pat for P12 as well. Anonymous coming in saying last week was mad. Yeah, last week at Austria it was definitely a bit crazy out there. That's for sure. And Natty coming in as well. Good evening, Natty, and Gravy there. So good evening to all of you guys watching live here this evening. But yeah, last week out in Austria, was a bit was a bit crazy actually. Some interesting things going on, race-wise, strategy-wise, and a wet qualifying here in Baku, just to mix things up a little bit more.
About it falling up in the actual Hungarian that was somewhat wet this past weekend, and the continual fall of the Ferrari namesake.
Oh yeah.
Never seen anybody throw a gift in the trash.
Yeah, they. Yeah, I don't understand it. So they're interesting that the viewers are talking about Patty Pat. Now, obviously, you weren't in the pre-race briefing. Patty Pat's had some issues. He's had no practice, and he comes into a wet qualifying session here in Baku with no laps under his belt. So it's going to be interesting. They're saying Patty spinning coming. They seem to be slightly. What's the word that they're saying? Cursing him here. Maybe they are. The commentators curse. It's the viewers curse this evening. So maybe me and you are going to get let off lightly this week, and the viewers are going to curse the drivers instead of us.
There you go. We just don't want to talk about him at all. We just want to be talked about. Then okay, if he wins a race, we'll just like, okay, good day, bye. So just to go through right quick, obviously Pat's in the race. We got C. Burton, assuming that's Cliff Burton related. Guitar Man Con, Folksy, Just Paris, Splandy, Dylan, Boyer, Pigman, Manbear Pig, Jonesy, Leclerc, Timba, Just Coconuts, Natterday, Bevo, Evo, Ghosty, Guelphy, Hansa, Chappers, and Snoop round out our 20 grid field for what hopefully will be a sunny race.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be a dry race.
It's quality. What you see here is going to be completely out the window if it's dry.
Absolutely, yeah. Good evening, Artistic, and Nominous saying there that he's doing Patty stream poll for him. I see. Will Patty qualify for top 8? We'll have to wait and see. But on board with Folksy at the minute, the first driver here on the flying lap, and I think it's going to be. It might be Dylan actually. It's Dylan. There's the driver behind him, who is the next car that's going to be setting a time lap here. 18-minute qualifying session going into that 50% race. And if anyone in the chat is racing, let us know what the weather's doing. Something that I'm hoping that does come to the game sometime eventually in the next. Never mind. Folksy's out.
Went around.
Dylan's next. Interesting about that crash there, actually. That wheel came off before he even hit the wall.
How dare they not tighten the one lug nut down. I also want to apologize. It looks like the PlayStation microphone was picking up audio as well as my actual microphone. So, Folksy is out. He would have been the first to cross. Dylan will be next, I believe. And get an idea. What were we seeing in Tier 1 in terms of time? Well, none of that even matters. It's wet, and it's also Tier 2, so...
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone else saw that on stream, but before Foxy even hit the wall, sorry, that wheel was off. And then as he made contact, it was all a very dramatic. And apparently we've missed Anza somewhere in amongst all that. But anyway, we're on board with Dylan as he goes second place, 2 seconds, so 1.8 off Anza's provisional pole position time. But there's only 2 times on the board there. So Bevo apparently is on a lap as well. Yes, he is coming through sector 2 at the moment.
I am trying to see if we have any standings of what has happened. As in, I missed last week's race. It was the opener. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 standing. There is 1 or 2. What's it? There is 1 or 2 puddles out there as well. So we've got Bevo is away. Bevo saves the day. Oh dearie me. We've got Bevo's actually got a song here. It seems like we've got some fans there. Baku hates everybody. That is correct, especially the castle section and the tricky S section coming out of the lap. Surprisingly, you'd think it's quite an easy section, but just one little bit out of line, and that's it. It throws you off for the remainder of the slalom of corners before that long straight.
Yeah, it's well enough. The University of Texas football program has not been relevant in like 20 years. I don't believe he's a Longhorn fan. Yeah, right now Anza's sitting on top 152, 733 in the wet. He's in the Doritos Williams modern take.
Natty's missed his braking zone at turn 1 there, and he's off the track. I'm not sure if that was to get out of the way of somebody else, but nonetheless, he's definitely out of the way. Just a quick audio check, guys. Can you hear both of us okay? And does the game audio sound okay to you guys? Are we too loud? Are we too quiet? It should be okay. But obviously, when we've got different co-coms coming in, it's sometimes just an audio tweak. Just let us know in the chat if it's okay or not. Leclerc.
That camera view of them coming up out of the castle into that chicane, people going around there really fast. And,
yes.
It looks like the pack end's going to come out, but that's
it does. It's horrible. Yeah, it is horrible. Spectate Patty's lap. We want to spectate Patty's lap, do we?
I need 2 screens instead of the input button on my remote control.
Yeah, I've got 2 screens.
Now we'll notice the stream looks like it's running at a lower frame rate. I don't know if that's just me or not.
It's running 1080 at 60 FPS, my end.
See, right now, almost a second difference. I know we got 10 minutes left. I mean, Anza might have showed his cards too early.
Possibly,
literally,
yeah.
It's
but here comes Patty Pat. At 158.2 for Patty Pat.
No practice. He's 6 seconds off the pace in the wet. And everything. All this can be thrown out the window. Somebody puts in a cheat code to unlock dry weather for the actual race. There was a patch that went out today for the game 1.07. I have not gone over what has changed on that. Hopefully they have fixed some stuff. I know they did.
Yeah.
I do know they announced Portimao is part of this patch update that is out there today, but you can't use it in career mode or season. But maybe we can use it in one of our seasons down the road. Don't know yet. China will also be coming. Shanghai will be coming in September. All this is free. It's a easy DLC to kind of toss out there. Looks like Bevo up to second now, hitting that median between Anza and Pigman Man Bear Pig 153, 178. 2 laps on those tires too. So
apparently Patty Pat is playing last podium, so interesting. We're on board with Jonesy at the minute on his flyer. He had a purple first sector and I believe a purple second sector, so let's see whether he can actually go purple and beat that 52.7 at the top there, set by Anza, who is coming out on another outlap. And never mind.
McLaren.
Never
says outlap. He's out his outlap. Jonesy came in at 9th there, I believe, by the way.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So that's why I said never mind. Timber coming down through turn 2 at the moment on his first flying lap. And let's see, ooh, very wheel spinny on the exit there, going up through the gears in 4th and 5th. Let's see whether he can match the pace and get himself up into the top 10, or is he going to be sitting just outside? Let's have a look. Timber going through turn 3 into 4 now, as he does hit the wall actually. Not sure if there was any damage on the front of that car. I don't think there is. Coming out to, oh, he does not look comfortable out there at all, does he?
Does not, but that's what the wet does. And this, I'm telling you, this circuit, and not only just the layout, but the fact that most of it's so narrow. I mean, it's not Monaco level narrow, but a lot of these corridors are long with just 90-degree corners, and it's wet. You have to hit the apex perfectly. Plus, this section right here by the castle, this place I've always called it the Mario Kart track. For obvious reasons.
I tell you what, he's done well to keep that out of the wall. He has done that very well to keep that out of the wall there.
Not too fast around that corner like I've seen some people, but consistency is key. He has to go down.
Yeah, we're going to go on board with his teammate now. Obviously, he's going to be going again. That does not look a very... Oh, okay, so Dylan and Jonesy. Interesting little bit of insight here. Dylan and Jonesy have just done a 50% race before this at Baku as well. So they are completely, well and truly warmed up. And that is the two drivers sat in 6th and 9th place at the moment.
Yes, that's not much of an advantage if you're sitting in 9th though. So he just crossed the line again, did not improve on that time, but we got 7 minutes left. Ghosty Riots, I don't know where he came out of. Did he change his name at the last second or something? I didn't read his name when we went through it. Maybe the Ferraris weren't in. Landy's also in the race as well. So
yeah, he was here last week, Ghosty Riots. One board with David at the minute though, as we're going down into the final braking zone of the lap. He is a 1:27.7 so far here. It was a dry race. They did this so it's new to conditions to them. Yeah, I mean, what's the race actually doing? I have no idea what the race is doing. Whether it's a dry race or a wet race, or are we going to have mixed conditions out there? Anyone able to let us know would be brilliant.
Yeah, I would really like to see. It's one thing I don't think I've seen yet since doing a couple seasons here in commentary is the wet to dry to wet, or the transition. Either it starts wet and finishes wet, or it's dry and there might be rain. As
Just Pera goes into 3rd place. Timber has a dry setup on, so I'm assuming it's going to be a dry race then. Then again, you should never assume, should you? Because you always make yourself look like a fool when you assume something. But here comes Just Coconuts. What a name, eh? Just Coconuts down into Sector 2. Into 3 now, and Drunk Pirate Gaming comes in saying it's snowing in the first half. Then there's going to be hurricanes coming out to the end of the race there. So interesting that the new patch has brought new weather as well. So never seen snow on a racetrack. And let's face it, they just about allow wet races to go ahead nowadays. So they're definitely not going to allow snow. And that is a huge hit into the wall.
Yeah, I just saw that he was also purple in Sector 2. I can just have the window down. The Haas. So we got the Alphas. Alfa Romeo 2-3 right now, looking for that lockout. But got about half a second to make
just
up.
Just Coconuts into the pits.
Well, he did, but yeah, Anza right now is still on top here. About half a second. I mean, I guess you can still try and push it, but nobody's really getting close. Coop quietly in 5th, 1:23.794. Literally 1/1000th from Pigman Man for 4th. But I think my prediction at this point is somebody's going to come in at the last second and swoop this pole with like a 1:52.6.
It's definitely, the rain is definitely easing off. It's not as it's not as wet as it was some 10 minutes ago. So on board with Anza on his outlap. Patty Pat is on another lap at the moment on an outlap. Just see whereabouts on track he is. He's coming down the pit straight at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch Patty Pat looking to improve his lap, and then we're going to jump straight back on board with Anza, who is your current pole position sitter at the minute. Let's see what Patty Pat can do then as he goes into turn 1 and misses the braking zone. And we're not going to spectate Patty Pat much longer. because he's already thrown that lap away at turn 1.
So he was coming up, Coop was coming up that front stretch, but he went back in the pits. He's on 4-lap tires. I wonder if will anybody have the goals to switch to softs here with it?
No, if you look at the rain in sector 3, the rain in sector 3 is heavier than it is in sector 1.
Even I guess when you even go to the pit shot, it's still really coming down. So I don't see that happening.
So on board with C. Burton at the moment, actually, because he is further ahead than Anza on this lap. In fact, I think Anza is the car directly behind him, but C. Burton hasn't yet set a time here in Baku this season, so we're going to stay on board with him. Timber on a lap as well, but he's obviously on a dry setup, so I don't expect a cracking time from him. The dry setups in the wet aren't the best things to be on, to be honest, but we're going to still stay here and see what happens.
I'm checking on the Ferrari Splendid, who is coming around. He just hit a purple sector 2. He looked pretty quick through there, coming out through these switchbacks into that long straight. He should be looking to set a time here. The hot lap is coming down about a 3 football lengths away from hitting that start and finish line. Yeah, the architecture in Baku was something else. And really, the episode of the Grand Tour really sold me on the city. Splendid will cross the line. Goes the pole! 152.504. The city was quick. Ferrari up front. Didn't really say that too much in the real world nowadays. 152.504. I think I called 152.6, but I think we're going to start seeing some other people pushing that limit. And Odds is going to have to open it up now. His teammate is out of the race. Ghosting Riots. Right out. Done.
I love the energy. I mean, oh my goodness gracious me.
Yeah,
C. Burton with a heavy hit there.
He's out too.
Yeah, I'm going to save that because that was some clip. Now, I love the energy that you're bringing. Unfortunately,
you never heard me commentate a race?
No, unfortunately I can't because I've got my little boy in the next room. So if I do that and it wakes him up, then unfortunately I lose my knackers. So no, they can't hear that. So don't worry about that. They can't hear that. So that's absolutely fine. Where are we going to go next? Who are we going to go on board with next? Let's see who is, as we got coming to the end. Anza, let's go on to Anza. Anza coming down, and then we're going to go on Bevo straight away. So it does. He's going to box. No, he is.
Where's Bevo?
Coming through the S's now. So here we go down to the final straight. That DRS on the car will be opening up any second now. And Owen, we have no idea, mate, if it's wet or dry in the race at the moment. That DRS did not open. Bevo's car did not have DRS that lap. Nope. Oh, it won't have, will it? 'Cause it's raining. Never mind.
Yeah, see, it's running out too. I was like, wait a minute, I know they're not going to use...
oh, yeah, drunk.
Pretend we're not here. I mean,
I threw... I won't open in rain. Yeah, I know. I was just completely forgot that it was a wet qualifying session for a second there, guys.
Boyer,
David into David into P4. Oh my god, that was a total moment for me there. Jesus.
Jonesy's coming down, correct? Jonesy's going to cross. Is he going to go up any? He does not.
No, he stays in 14th place. So we've got to be coming close to the end of the session. Yes, we are, and that is qualifying over with as Splandi goes pole, as you've already said.
Anza's locked in.
Yeah, Anza's locked in. Just Coconuts into P4 actually. The next driver down is going to be Gelfi, I think. No, it's Guitar Man Khan. He's not on a flyer, so we're going to go on board with Gilfy now. And never mind, no, we're not, because he's not on a lap either anymore. Patty Pat is in the pit, so he's not on one. Dylan is the next driver to be crossing the line in a competitive lap. Let's see whether he can get himself up into the top 10 as he comes down past the pit entry now, down to the line. Currently 11th, goes 8th fastest, and Chappers.
Para crossing
the line, goes pole position. 52.4 there, and here comes Chappers, goes 4th fastest. Great time there from Chappers, and just Para. As Bevo, a 1:52.2. There's the pole position time there for this evening, I believe. Unless anybody else can take it. I don't think so. Unless the track's drying up that much more. Pigmen Man, are you going to come down and take that pole position away? Evening Baguette. Jordan. Like I said, man, it was a moment for me. Oh, never mind. So, Pigmen Man stays into P8 there, and Jonesy is the final driver. And here we go. Jonesy down to the line. P11. So Bevo there on pole position, 52.2. We're going to pass it over to Feldman there as he goes through the starting grid.
Yes, Alfa Romeo, front row lockout. The second place Italians behind the Ferraris. The Bevo, just Para, the lockout up front. Splandi, an explosive lap. Actually, he tried to finish, push again. It looks like he hit something because he was messing his front ring. He will start third. And now I can't see the rest of the list until it comes back up. So, there we go. Anza, who got it early and rested on his laurels, 152.733. We got a half-second difference, basically, between first and fifth. None of this might matter here in 30 seconds when it comes up and the rain is gone. Chappers, Coconuts, Boyer, Pigman Man, Dylan, Coop, Jonesy, Ghosty, Leclerc, who somehow snuck in here. And Natterday would be the top 14. And we can't get down. There we go. Go over the rest of the grid. Khan, Timba, Guelphy, Patty Pat, Burton, and Folksy did not set a time. Let's see if we get a wet race. Because if it's going to be wet, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, a wet race in Baku is always something special, isn't it? I got a feeling it's going to be dry, though. I don't know. I just have that feeling. No one's saying anything in the chat whether it's wet or dry. But we're going to find out in about, 10 seconds, 20 seconds time, whether we're going to have dry or wet race here this evening. It's dry.
That is dry. I like how the pits just have a giant pole in the way.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's like, perfect camera position there for us all, eh, guys?
Absolutely. Codemasters on its A game once again. But we will be ready to go here, Baku, here in just a few moments as they will go around their lap. If I had my phone, I'd pull up some history right quick, but my phone's charging in the other room.
So just while we are waiting for the drivers to do their formation lap, etc., let's get who we think is going to win this race this evening in the chat, guys. Let's get the your predictions in the chat. Who's going to be your top three, whether it be a specific order or the correct order. Your top three for this evening in Baku are, let's go.
See, Drunk Pirate, of course, went up to Tier 1. He was our defending Tier 2 champion from last season. The closeout for F1 2021 as we have moved on to F1 22. Of course, we are on TV now. If you get the channel. Which I can't remember the name of the channel. But yes, we are televised. Of course, we've jumped over to Twitch. Changed a lot of things up here. Getting deeper, getting sharper. And yes, we will have a dry race here. In Vivo, Splandi, Anza. Who's going to push hard into that first corner? Right now, here's our strategy, at least for Vivo. One stop if you're stopping on mediums. Two stop if you start on softs.
So only Guitar Man can't on the soft tyres, and then you got Jonesy and Folksy on the hard tyres. Everybody else on the mediums. So
I don't think those two strategies work. I think you got to start in the mediums.
I know the hards are a very good race tyre in this game. The softs not so much. Guitar Man Khan is going to be hoping for an early safety car in the first 5-6 laps. I mean, it is Baku, so it is very possible. Mediums are a very good race tyre, race tyre, and the hards do seem to be a pretty decent race tyre this time. So apparently the mediums die 10 laps in on this game, in this track, so that's interesting.
Mediums with ace and softs. The softs are like 5 laps, but can you make it work? Do you have the skill to push them further than they can go? I've seen them go 15-20 laps.
So hards to mediums apparently is the strat, with hards to about lap 15 to 18, and then you box for the mediums. But they're saying that Larson may have done more than that on in last night's race, but the degradation is very high in this track apparently.
45 safe watch in the chat's asking what TV channel it is. I can't remember what the name of the network is. That's terrible.
It's ESTV.
ESTV. Something so simple I couldn't think of off the top of my head. It's Tuesday, folks. Another note here is they're getting lined up to the grid. Team orders here. What's going to happen with these two up front? Do they collide and take each other out? Because they're real close right now to each other, even on the formation lap.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's difficult. I mean, are they going to be allowed to race early on? I don't know. I mean, I think it would be a bit risky to allow them to race early on. I mean, it's looking at potential double DNF, isn't it? But I tell you what, they are going to be holding this temperature for a long time on the grid here. Because, I mean, look at Folksy. He is all the way. He's only just entering the pit straight now.
Yeah, these are fake disqualifications that I'm seeing on the screen because I got duped by that in the preseason. I don't know why it does that.
And absolutely drop Pirate. It's definitely too early for team orders. I mean, it's only round 2. You got to let them race, haven't you? But Folksy really making these guys wait.
So we line up to the green. Get these lights going. So we have 2 Alfa Romeos up front. Ferrari behind. Hands are right there. We are
and that
going.
Is 5 lights.
And we drop them green. Slow start here. Getting off. Maybe it's just a camera view, but boy, Pivo got a clean start. Somebody going way to the inside there. They ease their way around this corner. Not aggressive that much at all.
Bo was already out of the session. That could be a safety car. Yep, first safety car, lap 1. Didn't even make it to turn 2, and we already had a safety car. That is David Bowyer out of the session there, and our first retiree of the race. Didn't see what happened to him, but lap 1, turn 1.5. And we've got a safety car here this evening.
Those guitar man kind of go to mediums now. Didn't say scrub. He got it soft out of the way.
I guess he needs to go to medium. I mean, the softs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to be starting on the softs. Anyway.
This is the safety car I was looking for. Yeah, it just such the start. Maybe it was the camera angle, but it seemed like they kind of hesitated to get off the line. Everything was smooth going to the corner. I don't know what happened to Boyer. I think a tree got in the way of the camera view, and then it already had backed out too far to see where he had ended up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Past turn 1.
Yeah, it looked like it was just after turn 1. Maybe he spun it round and into the pit wall or something. It's very strange. What's happened to him? I don't think anything in the Discord either of what happened to him. I don't know whether they do that in there or not. Whether they say what's happened to each other in there. No, he hasn't commented anything in there. Would have been interesting to get some insight into what happened to him so early on in the race, but nothing at the moment. But yeah, Leclerc
out
under the safety car. Oh, he's straight into the wall. And that maybe Guitar Man Khan may have actually hit him and shunted him off into the wall because he's just been given a 5-second stop, 5-second penalty there for a collision with Leclerc. So I reckon Guitar Man Khan may have just driven into Leclerc, into the wall. That's just my prediction. 2 and 2 together, 5-second penalty, DNF, damage. Maybe that's what's happened. Goes to right into the pits early on, and Leclerc leaving the session there, and probably rather angry.
Last season takes out Leclerc, who's an actual Ferrari driver. You get it. There's some sort of story coalition in there or something. Real wide there for some reason. Anza almost clipped the wall. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, and that just there, it just shows drunk pirate. I know 2-minute gap between P1 and P2 at the moment. I mean, Bevo absolutely flying here underneath the safety car. We've only done 2 laps and he's already 2 laps ahead of his teammate, which is absolutely mental.
This means Perez ready to throw out that blue shell so he can catch up.
No, the lobby hasn't glitched, mate. It's literally just a timing screen. It always does it on the first couple of laps. It just throws out random timing screens, even though he's literally right behind him, as you can quite clearly see there. It'll level itself out, you know, within a lap or two.
Always something going on. One way or the other, there's always one little thing that's being thrown off of this game.
Patty has definitely pitted for softs, D-Watch. Yeah, you're definitely not dreaming. And if you feel that you are still dreaming, just give yourself a little pinch and let us know how much it hurt in the chat.
Yeah, make sure you click on that little heart button and that little notification bell. And bold move by Patty Pat Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Not sure if the safety car is going to be extended.
It won't be in this lap. It'll be in the next lap. So potentially, when they cross the line this time, that timing screen should correct itself. There you go.
Very good. Ain't nobody out racing anybody yet. We're behind the Aston Martin. Summer break, silly season. Let's talk about that for just a second. Alonso already making a break over to.
No comment.
Strange move, but when he talks, I guess I don't know. He just wasn't happy.
I think he's just looking for an easy way out of F1, and he's gone to Aston Martin, and there's his easy way out of F1. Because he's going to hate driving that car. I mean, why would you go from an Alpine that's, you know, quite competitive to a Aston Martin that can just about get out of Q1 on a good day?
Well, it's also, you have to wonder, I mean, yes, it's a better car, but he's the one from the mid-pack kind of that always qualifies right behind, you know, the top 3. Somebody went around, it was Anza.
Yeah,
always
he has.
On the safety car.
Yeah, and
So much in this game.
Patty's boxed again going onto the medium, so that is a pretty... I mean, I tell you what he's done. He's played the pretty smart card there, really. If you think about it, right? He's now effectively done his tyre strategy. So he can do what he wants now. Though apparently these mediums can go to the end of the race, apparently. But I don't think they can.
Yeah.
But they're saying here that Alpine have lied about Oscar Piastri as well, yes, because Piastri's released a statement this afternoon stating that they have gone behind his back and released a statement that Piastri is going to be driving for them in 2023, and he has turned around and said that is not the case because he wants to go to McLaren. Now, whether that means that Danny Rick's on his way out in 2023 is, well, potential.
There's a big tweet this morning saying Ricardo is retiring at the end of the season. But yeah,
I mean, I can see Ricardo to Alpine, Piastri to McLaren.
For me, I think Ricardo would be smart to actually come to IndyCar. I think that would be a good move, in my opinion, for him. He loves American a lot, too. I think if he actually races IndyCar, it would be awesome.
Yes,
we're green again here.
We are going back racing now, guys. But yeah, Drunk Pirate's saying that something bad is happening behind the scenes at Alpine. I don't know, it's weird. Anza into the pits. Obviously, he has developed some damage. But yeah, here we go now. Yeah, that's a good point, D-Watch, actually. Yeah, but we'll touch on that in a second once the racing's calmed down a little bit. But Anza into the pits. Guitarman Khan on the back of Patty Pat, who has missed his braking point once again now and has been overtaken by Guitarman Khan, and Patty Pat down into 17th place now. Gelfie closing in on Ghosty Riots as Ghosty Riots goes round the outside of Folksy, makes contact, and oh my god, almost causes an absolute car park there coming out of turn 4.
As you see, everybody's kind of spaced out here. Not a lot of passing points on here. Passing's all done with DRS in the front stretch.
We have a spinner. That is Coop's round. And Seaburton on the back of Jonesy. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that was right in front of my face.
Coop to the back. His teammate though sits in 5th. Coconuts in the Haas 4th. Volksy back in 12. Right now, we got the Alphas in front, real fast coming around that corner. Bevo, if he can put it together for an entire race, can look to dominate this. Their team orders might not even come into play if the domination is that deep. At this point, creating a separation point between him and Splandy in third is going to be the key.
Absolutely. And talking about pits, team orders potentially, McLaren have got a bit of a. Splandy's out of the session. That's going to be another safety car.
These tires are not warming up, and a lot of these guys are being really aggressive right now, trying to keep up. Bevo has always done a really good job that I've watched, making it stick.
Yeah, and that is Splandy. So Splandy out of the session. Safety car number 2 of the session, which allows us to take a breather again once again. And D-Watch, so coming into what D-Watch has said, the reason Alonso has left Alpine is because he wanted a multi-year contract, which Aston Martin have offered him. Now, I guess that's similar to Alfa Romeo and Bottas. Bottas always wanted that multi-year contract at Mercedes, but they were never willing to give it to him. Now, since receiving that multi-year contract, I mean, you've got to say that. I mean, he's not in as good a car as the Mercedes. I mean, but Bottas in that Alfa has seemed a reasonably decent driver this season, hasn't he? And then you've got.
I absolutely thought that he was going to be atrocious, and really, he has gotten so much better.
Yeah, I think it's because that pressure. That pressure is Coop getting a drive-through penalty. The pressure is off of Bottas now that he's not got that big name, big name brand that he's driving in. Splandy, I don't know what I've just done. Yep, you've just caused a safety car. That's what you've just done, according to Burger Bassi. And then F1 Ben Boy Patty Gang coming over to the Prospect stream here. So according to Patty's Twitch TV, he is saying that he's going to be doing soft after this medium stint. So interesting that he's. I mean, it's a ballsy move in my opinion. I mean, started on the. What did he start on? The hards, didn't he? Boxed for the softs. The next lap he goes straight onto the mediums. Now we can run these mediums way into the race to lap 17, 18. At the rate of these safety cars at the moment, that it could really play into his favour later on in this race.
Yeah, it's going to be as long as it doesn't spin out. But these tires have to get the temperature, and it's definitely been a strange hiccup this year with the game that especially things that races I've commentated mainly in the preseason, but especially the hards take a minute. We gotta have the field on hards now basically. I wonder. I was gonna say, is anybody else gonna come in and stick on hard? If you go to hards now, you can make it to the end.
The thing is that the hards are a very good race tyre. Give them 2 laps, and they are a very good race tyre.
Yeah, the tire models have kind of gone how Gran Turismo 7 did, where the softs are basically just used for qualifying. Or if you're trying to set the fastest lap at the end, and the mediums are the quick tires. The hards are dependable; they offer enough grip. It doesn't seem to change too much from track to track. It just seems to be the tire model they're using across the board. But it's not like last year. The softs are mainly just used for fast times and quality, very short life.
Yeah, I was saying to Justin the other week, I think it may have been last week actually, Tier 2 race last week, that the softs in this game are like the hyper softs back when they were a tyre.
Yes. I'm supposed to bring that back just for quality. It's the purples, right?
The hyper softs were the pinks. Super softs were purple.
Okay.
Then, no, the hyper softs were purple. Purpley pink, weren't they? Yeah, they were a purpley pink tyre. Then you had, you had hyper softs that were pink, ultra softs which were purple, super softs which were red, softs that were yellow, mediums that were white, and I think that the hards were brown.
Blue? Were any of them blue?
Blue, yeah. I think there was some blue. One at Silverstone in particular, they were blue. And yeah, Drunk Pirate, I completely agree with you. I hate that you only get one set of medium and one. The hards were like the orangey brown. That's it. And then you only get one set of medium and one set of hards for the race, which is crazy. Yeah, I completely agree. But I don't know if that's because it's only a 50% race. I wonder whether that goes to 2 sets once you go to like 100% races. Super hard weren't green, were green. I don't remember the super hards. I thought they were the like royally sky blue ones, were they not? And then you had the wets that were the royal blue, and the inters were green, obviously. And the issue with the hards is low temperature, especially with this many safety cars. Yeah, I completely agree, because they do super hard were light blue. That's it, yeah. So the hards were orange, the super hards were light blue, the wets were the darker blue, and then you had the intermediates at green. But yeah, I mean, I think they've confused. I mean, I think the tyre choices have always been quite confusing over the last few seasons, though, haven't they? I mean, especially now, you've got the C1 all the way through to C5, and some races the mediums are like a C3, but they can be a C4 at a different race. It's a very crazy scale this season and last season.
Yeah, super hards are like rolling around in the Flintstones mobile.
That was
Nothing
correct.
but
Yeah.
solid rock.
So yeah, they were in. I think the super hards were the tyre used at Silverstone, weren't they? The hards weren't used. It was the super hards, the mediums, and the softs. I think it was, because of it being such a hard track, wasn't it?
I just don't understand how well the grip would have been on that. I mean, it's really weird. I wouldn't mind actually going back and trying to watch the race where they use that just to see how things have turned out at different era, I guess.
But yes, again, it is a very long safety car. It should be in this lap, though. We'll find out as we come down to the end of the next straight whether the safety car is coming in. And my guess is that it will be safe coming in, as C. Burton's actually spun it on the exit of the castle.
Yeah, I was about to say I saw him drop down. I don't know if that was a hiccup or not, but it was definitely. I guess it was a hiccup on his end, but not something from the system.
The safety car should have been coming in there.
Yeah, let's see if anything happens here. We could actually see somebody spin out again, like through 8 through 11, and those back 3, because they're having to really work on those temperatures. Again, we have the Alphas up front on that lockout so far. Landy, who wasn't third in the Ferrari, did spin out and caused this. We got Coco, Chapper, Pigman, Matterday, Dylan.
Shout out to Chapper's actually up to P4. When did he start P8 actually? Let's have a look at the position changes. So Chapper's only up P1 place. I thought he was lower down than that. He started in P5. Biggest winners at the minute is Folksy up into 10th place. Your biggest loser at the moment, Anza, down 12th place.
This is the greatest parade race I've ever seen, by the way, as we continue with the safety cars. Most of the race has been just driving around.
I mean, it could be worse. It could have been Spa last year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I was one of those people that were there, so yeah, great for me.
One of my dreams would be to drive a car around Spa, amongst a couple other tracks, but I'll be happy going around the old Spa if those roads are still there. No idea. But,
we'd love to actually see the race as well, man.
It's the next race in the National F1 calendar when they come back, in like a month. Will be Spas there at Summer Brick. We're not. That's why we're here to fill in the gap. Here every Tuesday for Tier 2, Tier 1 Monday, 3, Wednesday 4. Also, we'll have our Gran Turismo 7 preseason starting, which I'll be a part of, but not this week because I'm going to WWE SmackDown. So that will be Friday. But our official season starts this next Friday. I don't know if we're doing 2 preseasons or 1. But just make sure you tune in for some different GT racing. As opposed to F1, as we'll have that to grill on as well. Again, here still under caution, still under safety car. Got a pair up front that you look out so far for the Alphas.
With a bit of luck, it'll be in this lap instead.
One can only hope.
Bassi, we'll find out this time round. If it doesn't say it's coming in this lap, there we go. And so no, it's not a safety car glitch. So thank God for that. Otherwise, it would be probably a restart, wouldn't it? But there we go then. So we're going to stay on board with Bevo then, as he is going to warm them tyres back up. Just Parrot in behind him there, and Just Coconuts in 3rd place. Chapper's 4th. Pigman Man in 5th, AFS Natty 6th, Dylan 7th, Jonesy 8th, Ghosty Wrights 9th, Foxy round out your top 10. Guitar Man Khan 11th, Gilfie in 12th, Patty Pat 13th, Timber 14th, Coop in 15th, Anza after his spin all the way down there in 16th place now, and Burton rounding up your current drivers left in the race. We have lost Splandy, Leclerc and David as we are going back racing here, and Bevo gets a great start, as does Pera, and Just Coconut's right hot on his tail. Into turn 1 we go. Have we got anything going on behind us? We have got a spin of Dylan.
Half the field basically just spun out in the pack. I purposely went back in the standings to try to get a better camera view to make sure everybody went out. Yeah, lost about 4 people.
As X-Coop going up through C. Burton, actually, there. That was interesting. He's driven straight through C. Burton as a ghost car. Yeah, David. Yeah, I'd love to know what happened, David. Let us know in the chat what happened to you. As Patty Pat is just not getting that corner right, is he, this evening? He is messing up that corner every single time at the moment, and he is not having a great time. But David, in the chat, let us know what happened to you. As Ghosty Riot's down there in turn 3, using the runoff area at the moment.
Patty Pat playing with those bumper cars there with Burton. With this track cuts, things are just real tight here.
Chapper's losing 2 positions, actually. Ah, okay, so Ghosty Riot's forgot to break into turn 1 and punted me round. So there we go, that's what happened to David, and then someone else hit him and took the wheel off. So as he was spinning, someone else had hit him, and that is what DNF'd him from the race just after turn 1 on lap 1. So it's unfortunate for David there, but it's good to have that insight as to what's happened. So thanks for coming in the chat and letting us know. As Dylan's out of the session, that is coming out of please not another safety car. Oh my good grief. And this David is this is we've not actually had DRS yet, guys. We've had 9 laps of, we're on lap 9 and we still haven't actually had a full racing lap yet, I don't think. And we definitely so yeah, we had safety car lap 1, which came in lap 3.
People pitting top 2 or 3 or 4. Evo staying out. I mean, might as well. So we're gonna try to switch up the strategy here. So while Formula 1, the actual sport, doesn't have the immediate decision to get certain circuits off the calendar, we do. So Baku not looking great thus far, as we've had.
So far, the safety car has led more laps of this Grand Prix than Bevo.
Okay, so this is the best parade race I've ever seen, and I've watched every Monza in the last 10 years. Now that primarily the field is on hards at this point.
Apart from
point, yeah, you
Timber
take this to the end.
and Foxy and Ghosty Riots.
The thing is, if you've stuck on the mediums for this long, as if we actually get a lap in, if you stuck on the mediums for this long, you can probably make it to the end at this point. I'd say, especially with the safety car laps, these aren't actual laps. So
No.
that full wear is not going. Evo still will have to pit at some point. I mean, he's going to have to. Even if there's a safety car for the rest of the race, he's going to have to pit for rules and regulations. So,
I'm just sat here. I'm just trying to work it out. Lap 1 to lap 3, safety car number 1. Gelfie's left the session. Lap 4 to 6.
Well, he's still in.
7 to 9. And then on lap 9 we had another safety car, I believe. So this is, yeah, we've not actually had 2 consecutive racing laps. And we're still yet to see DRS here in Baku tonight. And we haven't even seen it in qualifying either, because it was wet. So we're still yet to see DRS even opening here this evening.
Prospects. The best here. Let's try to get some clean laps and have some actual racing.
But we will take this opportunity, guys, to those of you who are in the chat this evening, thanks very much for choosing us and tuning in to watch us this evening, even if we are behind a safety car. At least Aston Martin can prove to Fernando they can lead a race. Oh, that's brilliant. I like that.
That's good.
if you haven't hit that follow button, please do. Help this fantastic league and their channel grow to be one of the biggest and the best ones out there. And if you are new, please do hit that follow button. And if you haven't said hello and you are new to the stream, please do come in and say hello. And we're a friendly bunch, honestly.
There we go. So Jonesy is up to second now after the pit stops. But these top 4 will need to pit at some point. I don't think any of them, like Guitar Man, Con, just start up soft and immediately pit. So 1, 2, and 4 currently will have to pit at some point. Con will probably still have to pit too. I don't think those hards coming out on lap 2 on those is going to last to the end of the race. Could be if we keep going like this.
Yeah, Folksy and Chappers changing positions under safety car there. I'm not sure what's happened there. Just noticed that on the timing screens, and there you go. Chappers gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. Now, Chappers did try giving Folksy that position back, but Folksy chose to stay behind.
Come in this lap or not?
No, it won't be in this lap. It'll be next lap, I'd have thought.
That's it!
Oh my God.
We're going racing. At least through turn 1, we're going racing.
Yes,
it's a battle
turn
royal. It's a Royal Rumble. Survival of the fittest. That's a good camera shot.
That is a beautiful camera shot. See, this is something I wish they'd add. I wish they would give us this camera shot as a selection instead of just TV and broadcast, because this, down this straight, or down the Kemmel Straight in Spa, would be absolutely incredible.
And more they have, how much esports are involved in this game? I said last year, they have to put a director mode in here.
Yes, and then how difficult is it? He's racing, so Bevo's gone. How difficult is it just to let the spectators know what the weather's doing per race as well? But Guitar Man can't go in for a move. Is he going to go for the move into turn 1? No, he thinks better of it. But we continue on. So we have got through turn 1 here. Have we got anyone? You can keep an eye on the back.
Yeah, I'm looking in the back. It looks like somebody went off. Burton did, but we're good. Just drive. Don't hit people. Just go.
As Guitar Man Khan getting really close to the back of Jonesy here. Timber and Anza as well. Oh, Foxy and Chappers changing positions. Maybe. Are they? Yes, they're not. Yes, they are. As Foxy up into 9th place. Chappers down to 10. But here comes Foxy on Just Pera as well. Just Pera being overtaken there by Foxy around the outside. AFS Natty up next. And Timber and Anza changing positions up there for 4th place and 5th place.
The field is getting a bit jumbled and getting a little bit antsy. Trying to avoid the wreck. We have looks like Foxy kind of darting the inside there, trying to look at any positioning possibilities to move up. There's nothing there.
And I mentioned there for Patty Pat getting past Ghosty Riots for P12 as well earlier on down little straight there.
Yeah, Bevo very happy with everybody else dancing in the back. His teammate Pear back down to 9th though after the pit stop. But boy, I tell you what, he's already looking fast in this section. It's just gonna be a matter of being able to get around.
Guitar Man Khan's had an issue coming out of I can't think what turn it is, but Guitar Man Khan had an issue. He's hit the wall. He's got no front wing. That could be. It's another full course safety car. Oh my good grief!
Why? I mean, seriously, why? I mean, he lost his wing.
And to be fair, this is why I did ask and make the point of saying it should be on reduced, because reduced this would be a virtual safety car for some.
I have seen a car fly in the air in this game, and they're not in the safety car. I swear to God. But literally, he hits the wall, wing comes off. I get it. There's debris. Just make it.
Bring a virtual out.
Yeah, just a virtual. I mean, for real.
But I think this is why. This is where the reduced comes into play, because reduced would have brought out a would have brought out a virtual safety car, not a full course safety car.
Evo went hard, so he is back in 13. And he just overshot the corner.
Oh, I've seen that happen quite a lot of times. Yes, I've seen this. No front wing damage though, so he is a very lucky boy there.
And he just overshot it because those tires, those hards, they're tricky. So
Good evening, good hunting. Can the safety car win? Unfortunately not. There becomes a time where no matter what happens in the game, the safety car will not come out, and that is usually between 2 and 3 laps from the end of the race. The safety car will not come back out unless you have... I mean, you could even have a 30 car pile up, even though there isn't 30 cars, and at this rate there isn't going to be 30 cars left at the end of this race either. It will not come out within the final 2 to 3 laps.
Yeah, well, I'm going to protest so Aston Martin can win this race. That DB11 or whatever it is deserves this victory. All that clean air.
What are you doing, Doc? Lay down. What? Go lay down.
As we sit now, Anza has gotten his life back together. After starting, 4th, going to last, and now he's back up in 2nd. Of course, because of pit stops. Timba still will have to... Why Timba needs to pit? Should have just pitted right there. Unless he knows something we don't. He's been talking to...
Absolutely, yeah. Nate, this is PlayStation, yeah, but there are PC leagues. You can go through to the website or even find the Discord server and join it that way, my man. Yes, but you have to go through the sign-ups through the website and the forms and things, I believe, and then you will have to go from there.
The user's probably like, I can win this race. All they're doing is driving around in circles at 50 miles an hour. Like, anybody's got a chance in this. Don't pit wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that's... I don't think it's working. Am I allowed to put a Discord link in the server? Am I allowed to, in the chat? Am I allowed to do that? No, I'm not, because I cannot get an invite. So, anybody... Yeah, I can't, because I can't actually get a invite. It's sent. I've got to ask someone else to. Well, have I got to do that? But I can't get the Discord server invite. So unfortunately, I can't do that. Yeah, I mean, you won't be able to just join this straight away. You'll have to actually go through the correct procedures to actually get into the league, my man. You can't just join the lobby, unfortunately.
So, back to this. I do want to note, though, it's really where 1080p 60 frames per second stream looks like it's definitely not running at that. Maybe that's just me. But also, I'll note this compared to when I had streamed preseason. There's a lot less of a delay on this as opposed to what the game is. So I need to know what your secret is.
Yeah, correct. This is a league. Yeah, correct. I'm not sure what it all is. I just set it up and run.
And so we coming in this lap.
You're not willing to join the league to just play. Okay, well then it looks like, I mean, five lappers or social play is probably your best bet on the the searching thing within the actual game. But something that I've always found is leagues are 90% cleaner than your online lobbies, and if you actually want to enjoy the game, let's say, then it's if you want to get the full experience of the game and actually have a good time, then you go for it. I mean, and what if there's a day that you're not able to play? Then there's all check-in stuff. You can mark yourself down as absent and things. But we're going to be going racing again very soon.
Yeah, we're going right. I just went on my PlayStation. Feels like a furnace right now.
Are you on a PS5? Oh yes. You on a PS5 version as well?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's the issues that I'm having. Hence why I've dropped back down to PS. Oh, Scoop. He's been disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty. See, that's unfortunate because there's been so many safety cars. How you possibly? Went around. Oh my God!
They hit the wall. This is a mess.
We've had spins galore, but Jonesy already a second advantage. Yeah, we're PlayStation. It's PS4 and PS5. I'm PS4. I'm a PS5 on a PS4 version at the moment, purely because the PS5 version is broken. Pigman Man is closing on Just Pera here as well.
Gelfie
And
out.
in fact, he's actually had a very good exit. Gelfie's out of the session. Thankfully, there's not going to be a safety car here. And we've got Pigman Man and Just Pera going wheel to wheel here. There is contact. There is contact. They've got to unlock their wheels. And that has allowed Chappers to get round the pair of them there. And Chappers up to 6th, but gets out braked.
Oh, he chopped that corner, though.
Yeah, I think he had to. He absolutely had to.
And we're back to this.
Oh, safety car.
Can we protest ahead as a move to to me, honestly, city circuits that are like.
See, I don't actually know if this is a glitch though, because it's got to be glitch. This has got to be a.
There's a lot of people.
Glitch.
There's a lot of people wrecking. There's a lot of stuff. Somebody went around in turn 1 and was very back. Luckily, we didn't get. It can't be because a lot happens to turn 1 and 2 that just now happened. Nothing for that. So whatever happened just now must have been pretty gnarly because Welfie basically went out. Yeah, I mean, it's always been if it's Monaco, if it's this, if it's Singapore.
Yeah, see, Drunk Pirate's making the point that I'm making. The third sector and a safety car keeps coming out.
They had to have a clean lap to see if that actually permeates that way.
I mean, it is getting a bit like this is what safety car number 5.
5. Nobody wins the race.
Nate, I'm not 100% sure, mate. You're gonna have to go through and read the. You're gonna have to go into the the prospects bit, and where it says start here. You're gonna have to go through that procedure there, my man, and go through that bit. It's all there. It tells you exactly what to do, and as long as you follow the instructions there of what it says, then it's quite straightforward, really. I didn't have to do it myself, obviously being a commentator. I don't race here, so I didn't have to go through the whole, filling it out and things. So I'm honestly not the best person, but I'm sure people in the chat can help you out.
Yeah. So we run now. Jonesy, Anza, Coconut, Standard A, Pigman, Era, Chappers, Bevo, who decided it was dominating this race for what racing there was, is on hards back in 11th. Got a couple of guys on softs. I mean, at this point, you might as well, because they're going to get about another 2-3 laps on those tires, and they will heat up quicker than those hards. So they might get a pretty good advantage. But again, it's one thing to have advantage; it's another one to actually get around somebody in front of you on this track, which you really can't do unless we actually make it around the track and can get back on that front stretch. And actually get DRS enabled.
They say that this safety car might be limited to 5, so if that's the case, then we may not see another safety car after this. I do hope not. Again, we're still yet to see DRS this evening.
At least we've gotten through Tier 1 fairly clean every time in these restarts recently. The last 2 have been good. Somebody's going to the pits, it looks like. They're faking it way to the inside. Yep, that would be Bevo going back in. It's off. He must have heard us talking junk. For me. So he's probably going to go back to... What's he going to get? Softs?
See, he should have a new set of softs. He'd go softs to the end now. I'd have thought.
9 laps? 8 laps?
Yeah, softs to the end.
Soft. Put him, who was the pole setter and early leader, is now in the back. Dapper's still with the penalty.
I tell you what, Bevo's got some work to do now if he's going to come back and win this race. Okay, so give us 2 seconds, guys. Let's just catch up on the. Who is the commentators, by the way? So I am Zippo, and I'm joined tonight by Feldman. We are the commentators this evening. I also commentate on Tier 3, so I'll be live tomorrow night with Artistic, and then on Thursday I will be doing the Academy from 8 o'clock on this channel, and then Tier 4 from 10 o'clock. Unsure who I'm going to be teamed up with, and but yeah, I'll be live 3 to 4 times this week, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far. I know it's it's not been the most entertaining of races, but Jonesy, I don't think Jonesy's pitted. You know, no, Jonesy is the only driver out there that hasn't pitted so far, Drunk Pirate. So he's going to have to pit pretty soon.
Can you imagine if it rained?
Nate, I can assure you that the sign-up process is definitely not sketchy. I mean, this league runs on 4 to 5 nights a week.
The sign-up process is pretty straightforward. You just have to literally put in your screen name and what you want to do.
Here we go then. So Jonesy is going to lead this restart. Now, whether he's going to choose to continue on or dive into the pits, I mean, he's possibly hoping for another safety car if there's going to be one, and then chuck on the softs to the end, because obviously everybody will then be pitting, won't they?
Is he going to back it up here because they're going really wobbly on these tires up? When's he going to sprint?
He's gone.
There it goes.
There we go. He is gone now, and he hasn't really caught anybody out.
Hans is keeping right up though. He's going to bolt to the inside here. Spaced out pretty well. No bolt. All taking the apex perfectly. Smooth through. Nobody wide.
Looks very nice. Are we going to get a full racing lap here, guys? Let's hope so. We have got some. No, we haven't. We're good.
We're still good. Starting to space out a bit down this.
Here we go. So Anza still leads the way, but there we go. Chappers and Foxy changing positions down into turn 3.
Right
yellow flag.
Yellow
Patty Pat is out of the session.
We're going to keep going green.
I hope so. Yes, we are.
Anza on the tail end of Jonesy here. Will he try to make a bolt in anywhere? A dive in to take a position, but so hard to pass through here unless you're just overly aggressive and don't care. Up through the short chute here with the castle on the left with the chicane.
And Patty Pat out of the session. So that is that is the 7th driver to retire from this session, as we have another yellow flag, and that is for Seabird. And we've got, oh my god, the Alpha of Just Pera has no front wing either. So Just Pera continuing on. Oh, we've got a spinner and another spinner. Are we going to see a virtual safety car now for all that debris? No, we're going to see a full course safety car in sector 3 once again.
He did hit the wall. I mean, I don't think it's a bug, and I don't think it's cool. I think it is really just a coincidence because people are. I will tell you what, coming down that hill, sector 2 into sector 3 into that hard 90. It's so because of that, because of the curve that's right there. It's a sausage curve. It's such a difficult corner. Like you can't carry speed, but then if you can't carry the speed, you can't keep up. It's such. There's very little room for mistake. If you hop that and don't take it right at all, you're going to. I'm not the biggest fan of Baku, to be honest. There's been some good racing there in 2 of the last 3 races in real life. But in terms of the track, yeah, I'm good, to be honest with you. So.
Absolutely.
We got some shake-up, so Bevo pitted again. Why?
Bevo, I don't know. No idea.
Anza's got the lead here. Anza does not have to. I mean, he just needs to coast this again.
Yeah, he doesn't have to pit again at all.
Kana, mediums, and Ghosty. So, I mean, they're all trying to go for a fastest lap, and then we can't get one lap in. Anybody watch Tier 1 yesterday? Did we have the same type of results? Is it just Tier 2? Go ahead and say something in the chat. And I'm sure Pirate raced, so...
Dizzy Lizard saying poor commentators.
Really?
C. Burton's retired from the session as well. No, Nominous safety car isn't reduced. They decided to go with. What's it called? What if I just wanted to join the 5 laps? What are you on about this evening? Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, you're saying poor commentator. Oh, okay, sorry. I was thinking Dizzy.
Yeah,
That's
I thought you were
a
calling
bit.
us out there. I was a bit
That's.
like,
I mean, Dizzy.
trying to bite
I
my
mean,
lip right now.
I know Dizzy, and I was thinking that's a bit of a strong thing coming from Dizzy. But yeah, I mean,
Punctuation means a lot, man.
it's been. We haven't actually seen DRS this evening. We haven't seen DRS because it was a wet qualifying session as well. We haven't actually had 2 consecutive racing laps since the race started either. But yeah, Nate, unfortunately, you can't just join for these 5 laps. For a start, you would only come in as a spectator. And secondly, you haven't gone through any of the procedures that you need to go through to even join the league. And I believe that you need to do... I think it's racing at least 1 academy. I have no idea. I honestly don't know. Dude. You're gonna have to ask one of the admins. Yeah, you need to in the Discord server, whatever it is, tag the PlayStation director or the PlayStation admins, and have this discussion with them. Unless anyone in the chat can help, because honestly, I'm just a commentator. I don't know the ins and outs of it all. I just turn up and do comms and try and watch some racing.
Speaking of racing, I forgot what that actually is this afternoon. This is the most Tuesday race I've ever seen in my entire life. I would say Tuesday stroll around Azerbaijan. As we sit now again, Anza first in the parade race, Coconut second, Natterday third, Pigman, Manbear picked fourth, Chappers fifth, Khan sixth. You know what? I almost wish it did rain. That way we'd have like 5 people left at the end, and we could actually have a shootout. And Coconut's got squirrely there, trying to get some heat into those tires. Lucky he didn't spin out. He saved it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not down to half the field yet. Let's see. Over under on if we get to half the field left at the end of the race.
Okay, so yeah, there we go. So Owen, thanks for coming into the chat, man. So yeah, Nate, deal with Owen. He'll tell you exactly what to do, exactly where you need to go to, and what you need to, all the information that you require. Owen's the guy that will help you. So yeah, I'll leave that over to you then, Owen. But, ladies and gentlemen, the safety car is coming in this lap.
For at least 1 lap.
Are we gonna see a full racing lap?
We have a 6-lap shootout.
All we need, right, is for this lap to be clean to see whether the safety car comes out as the cars hit sector 3. If they come out when it hits sector 3 and it's been a clean lap, it's simple. It's a glitch.
We are green again here. Anza off to the races.
Here we go. So Anza leading the Grand Prix again now. AFS Natty, Pingman Man into turn 1, looking for a move. Oh, and we have got a Guitar Man Khan overshooting it, and we've got a driver almost into the wall. Just Pera. Oh, this is just chaos. The drivers are just, oh dearie me. So we've got AFS Natty has just been absolutely wiped out into turn 3 there, into turn 2 there. Sorry, like wow.
No safety car yet. I mean, everybody's moving. Let's see if they get to sector 3 and all of a sudden throws it out. But that's everybody can get through this.
Here comes Folksy on the back of Guitar Man Khan. Can we see Ghosty Riots as well up into 3rd place, looking for a move? Honestly, every time we see a move, I kind of close my eyes.
Folksy really forcing the issue here on the tail of Khan.
He really is, and if he's not careful, I mean, it only takes for Khan to lose the rear slightly, and that is going to be another utter wipeout. Now we're approaching the end of sector 2. Starting sector 3, Folksy. Oh, I tell you what, that was some. Oh, and there's a driver into the wall. That is Guitar Man Khan into sector 3. Folksy's round as well. Are we going to see another safety car? Hallelujah, ladies and gentlemen. We have no more safety cars. Are we going to see continuous racing now as Ghosty Riots and Pingman Man down into the pit straight, closing in on him? And look at this, guys. We're about to have another lap of racing. Are we? Because Guitar Man Khan's just retired. Please, no safety car.
Ghosty Riots with the run there on Pigman Man.
Do you know what? That's actually our first fastest lap. We're lap 22.
Really quick on that last lap.
We're lap 22, guys, and we just had our first fastest lap of the race. As Ghosty Riot up into second place, Pingman Man looking to move back. But look at this, Just Pera and Bevo, the teammates here this evening. Are they going to comply team orders or not? Or are they just going to be allowed to race? Yellow flags, Just Coconuts out of the session. And I believe we're not going to see any more safety cars now because we've hit that period where, yeah, that really tickled me. That's done me. I'm sorry. But the fact that we've had 22 laps and we've only just had a first fastest lap of the race is crazy. And Just Pera and Bevo, not any team orders. Jonesy and Pingman Man is going to be a very close fight here as Gilfie has just left the session. And feel free to interrupt me anytime you wish, Feldman. I just don't stop rambling once I get going.
We're down to half the people, so that was the over. I took the over, so we're... I don't even know what that means, but we're down to half the people. Anza's running away with this race, but Ghosty has been very fast on these 2 laps. He is closing the gap here. Will we see? Well, I guess DRS will be.
It'll be enabled this lap.
Yeah, Ghosty purple through sector 2. He might nab this fastest lap. He is on softs, and he is with Ghosty. Might just win this race. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say Ghosty is gonna win this race.
It's very possible.
Anza had a 2.1 second lead.
Yes, he did. And Ghosty, Jonesy really gaining here on Pingman Man. And here we go.
Softs and the hard.
As Ghosty does set the fastest lap. And there we go. Jonesy up into 3rd place. Now, could we see Jonesy closing up to Ghosty Riots here and finishing on the podium? Chapper's on the back of Timber into turn 1, but not quite close enough. We are, ladies and gentlemen, going to go on board with Ghosty Riot, so as he is here in his pursuit of Anza for the win of this race. He is absolutely flying. Absolutely flying.
Right quick. Evo is still a sleeper. He's on softs. Probably at their peak. Ghosty is on 7 lap. Again, that's all after 1 W because they've been driving around the parking lot for the past half an hour. So these things aren't really full 7 laps. So you'd probably say he's got 2.5 laps out of those 7. You hope probably like a lap and a half, 2 laps with the with his softs. What's going to happen though, if Ghosty can get around Anza, there's going to be a separation point there between him and Jonesy.
Absolutely.
Jonesy would have to get around 2 cars to win this race.
And Bevo, do you want? We're going to have a little look at Bevo as well because Bevo is actually closing in on Pingman Man himself. Again, the softs against the hards are no comparison to these.
Problem remains is how do you get around? You know, this section right here is such a tough section.
It is, yeah. You mean,
right. As you see right there, Hera hit the wall. It's such a tough section to get right.
Yeah, it is. But Bevo has done just that. He has got this to perfection. And Ghosty Riots are these softs now dying because he has dropped a lot of time. Oh, what a smash!
Bevo out.
Oh my God, we're on board
Bevo
with that just then.
out.
That is absolutely crazy. That was mental.
Where's the car?
That was absolutely mental. What a crash that was. That was, and you know, that was literally just a lapse of concentration. Drifted left too far and just brushed against that wall. And at that speed, that was it. Out he goes. But Anza still holding on to the lead of this Grand Prix for now. Ghosty Riots, I think these softs are done. I really think these softs are done.
If they fall off the cliff after 5 laps, so you got about an extra lap and a half, 2 laps out of it. The Jonesy has enough to maximize it so they completely fall off the cliff. But you've got to get around Ghosty. He's now not making up ground on Ghosty. Anza's got this thing wrapped up. I was wrong with a lap ago. Those tires just fell off.
They went very quickly, didn't they?
Out of nowhere. Yeah, that's usually they fall off a cliff. So as long as I would not be surprised to see Anza just run straight into a wall somewhere because that's just how things are going today.
Burger, that's tickled me. Zippo, I need you to not spectate me tomorrow. Yeah, he is. Oh, dearie me. Or Thursday. Oh, okay, guys, sorry. Blimey. He's like, I'm literally the definition of commentator's curse right now, right?
And Ghosty, somebody just hit the wall. Was it Anza? Did he hit
That
the wall?
was Pera just hit the wall. I saw that.
Saw a piece of debris flying. So Jonesy now 6/10. Well, if he can get around Ghosty, he can get it before. There we go. It's just easy pass. He's not even standing in the way. It's not even really a direct. Well, no.
No, that's what happens
Ghosty
when you.
getting back in front.
That is what happens when you come out the slipstream. Just Pera, the fastest lap of the race. Pingman Man down to 5th place. Pera up to 4th. And I tell you what, Pera and Pingman Man are actually going wheel to wheel just then. DRS once again. We're going to keep an eye on this and Jonesy and Ghosty. But here comes Jonesy again. Ghosty going very defensive. Moves to the right. Is he going to go for... Oh, I thought Jonesy was going to go for the lunge down the inside then.
As he dive bombs somewhere, he can't get anything on the outside here. Problem is, you're going to be the double.
Oh, he's got a better exit. He's got a much better exit. Is he going to switch to the inside? No, he's going to try and force it around the outside. Foxy gets the fastest lap. He's going to go for the switchback here, is he? No. The thing is, that wall comes at you so quick, you just cannot get... Pera went round and Pingman Man up into 4th place on those 15-lap-old hard tyres.
Oh, what a run there, because Ghosty's got
Jonesy.
no grip on those tires.
He hasn't, but Jonesy was... Oh, this is getting a bit sketchy through this bit. You don't want to be this close through this at all.
And it's about to get NASCAR in here because it's about to get punted, so Jonesy needs a run here.
Have you seen? Look at the back though.
With the,
we've got Just Pera, Pigman Man, Jonesy, and Ghosty all fighting it out for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th here.
Basically, Ghosty's holding up everybody else. He can't get around. He can't pass him. Anza's running away with a 6.5 now. Anza will come down here to this final stretch. Get in the front stretch. So take a look behind him. These 4 don't know where they're going to get around each other.
Foxy's out of the session. At the castle section, Foxy's round. We're not going to see a safety car.
And Anza will cross the line here. One more lap to go.
And here we go.
Make sure he don't mess it up.
Just Pera with an incredible run on Pigman Man up into 4th place. Jonesy just cannot get past Ghosty. But I tell you a driver that can. Oh, I tell you a driver. Oh my God! There goes Pigman Man. He's just taken both of them because of that contact. Pigman Man back up into 3rd place. This is when the hards could come back into play here.
Yeah, because this is where it's going to fall off for Jonesy. But can't say much. He's got to get around Ghosty. Ghosty's been playing really good defense, but he's also going to hold everybody else up. That's why they're packed up right here.
I kind of feel like if Pigman Man gets a run on Ghosty here, he's up into 2nd, and the hards come through as the stronger tyre at the end of this race once again, just as they did in France for the pre-season. As there's contact.
Oh,
Ghosty,
look at that side. The car got sideways coming out of there, so he's got no grip on those tires.
he got hit. He got hit by Pigman Man.
Here comes the run down inside. Nothing there. I almost feel like Ghosty should be
Oh, I tell you what. This is getting a little bit too. You just don't know where to look. You don't know where to look, do you? At the minute, can we get off this camera angle? Bloody hell! Thank you.
Coming to the inside, he's going to get this run here. Pigman Man up
He
the
does.
inside. He's got the positioning.
Oh, he's had to lift. He had to have a massive lift there. That was a huge lift.
Ghosty will not let anybody by despite being slow as dirt.
He's going to have no choice here because Pigman Man's got the run. He's got the run down the inside. He needs to stay behind because of the DRS. Pigman Man using a 2000 IQ play there, staying behind Ghosty Riot down to the line. But Anza, we're going to go right on board with Anza as he comes down to take the checkered flag very soon, and then we're going to run straight back onto the battle behind. But here comes Anza to take the checkered flag and the win here, and Pigman Man, Jonesy down to the lines. We're going to be 3 wide crossing the line here, guys. 3 wide.
Pigman. Oh, they collide!
What a...
They collided. I don't know what went back. Looks like it was Pear and Pigman ended up...
That was an incredible finish there, guys, as Anza wins the Grand Prix. Ghosty Riot holds on for 2nd place, and that was almost a photo finish for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th position there. What an ending to... oh my God.
Fulton's face describes how this race was. So there's that. I never speak of it again, but yeah, that was a fun little
6 laps
shootout there. Yeah. But at the same time, I really feel like...
Baguette.
Can you say that's excellent defense, or was that an abusive defense that
I
mean,
don't
how
know.
many double defensive efforts were there?
No comment.
Yeah, that's what the stewards might be doing on that. Because you can't double block, and I want to say there were a couple double blocks. So
Yeah, there was definitely a few Verstappen moves there, wasn't there?
yeah, but he won the title, so it's okay.
Safety car champion.
Lewis in 6th place this year. Yeah. Okay. So this is Anza after getting the early pole and then getting swept aside. A poor start and then pulled the ultimate Royal Rumble move by hiding in the corner. Survives, wins the race. Ghosty second, questionably second. Jonesy third. Pigman, Hera, Saturday, Timba. Don't you have to show everybody in the standings on your thingy?
Absolutely. We're being asked, do we want to do interviews? Now, are we doing interviews? I have no idea. I've never been told about the interview side of things.
We've done them sometimes. I couldn't tell you how to do it in Discord, though.
I know how to do it in Discord, but I just don't know whether we're doing it. Is Owen, are you still in chat? Are we doing interviews? If we are, then give me the heads up, and I'll get people into the. I can get people into the Discord, not a problem. I haven't been told anything about.
Oh, we don't have to. It's up to you.
I've just not been told about them. I don't know whether it's the first time I've been mentioned it. So.
Burger Bassey also mentions that Patty was not happy because he said Ghosty took him out. Ghosty was very aggressive. And
yeah,
then,
to be fair, it's Jonesy's interviews.
Get Pat in here to complain. Get Pat in here to complain.
No, we better not. I mean, I'm down for interviews if you guys want to do interviews. If it's okay.
Just invite them on the. Invite the top 3 of the Discord, and we'll be good.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Hang on. Top 3. Hashtag podium. Top 3 into podium chat, I guess. On Jonesy, you're gonna have to do it through. You're gonna have to do it through Discord, my man. I can't do it through here. I can't do it on here. It has to be on Discord because of my audio settings. So let's get into the podium chat now. So you can, yeah, there we go. So Feldman, you're going to have to join podium interview as well because it will cut us off this call here. Are you in the main esports prospects league thing?
I'm in the staff.
Are you not in the other one?
I am, but there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, if you go into eRacing Home and then it's podium interview. Okay.
Did I come across?
Yeah, if you go across into there, I'll meet you in there.
Is it oh, I see it, yeah.
So there we go, guys. Yeah, we're in the podium interview thing. I'm not sure who the other guy was on the podium. It was also hectic, wasn't it?
I feel sorry for you guys, man.
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, the fact that what really tickled me, the fact that we got to lap 22, and we just set our fastest lap of the race.
That's the thing. I mean, like, it was boring for us, and I can only imagine how boring it was for you guys. So,
the first question: should we drop this in the calendar for next season?
Yes, 100%. No way.
Yes, no more city circuits.
Yeah, it was
no more shitty circuits.
Oh, we're still live. Don't swear.
City. I said city.
Oh, okay. That's okay then.
Yeah.
So Anza, if Anza's coming into the, if Anza's coming in as well, then it'd be great to get the top 3. But if not, so Anza won obviously. Ghosty with a rather defensive position there, wasn't it? It was
Mhm.
yeah, questionable
Yeah.
double movement sometimes, maybe.
Mhm.
Possibly some.
Blocking.
Maybe well, that's. I mean, if that's how you want to. I mean, I don't know what we can and can't say on here. So yeah, I mean, it was a little bit questionable. Let's say some of the defensive moves, maybe. Not sure if the stewards will end up looking at it, but P2 on the day, possibly pending any investigations. How was the race for you?
Um, questionable driving. Any mistakes, all my fault. Questionable, very, very questionable driving. I can't lie to you. Um, I got lucky with that last safety car
Yeah.
where I was on the soft tires. I got very lucky, and then I think it was when we got to racing, I bottled it. I hit the wall, and then yeah, I think towards the end, the defending, very questionable defending, but um, yeah, man,
Do,
I
do
had
you
to
do
use
you feel there might be some penalties coming your way from the defensive movers, or
100%,
so you
hundred
you
percent.
you certain that you're going to lose a podium here this evening then?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I mean, from my point of view, I almost. I mean, when we went side by side through turn one together, I had to pull out of that. Otherwise, that's my race over. And I just think in those scenarios, and it's not a dig at you. I just think of where the can't get my words out, trajectory of the car side beside you was going, and just
Mm-hmm.
try your best to leave room. So, and
Yeah,
even
you
though
gotta
we try
maintain
our
that
best,
line, give the space, but at the same time, there
but
was some excellent driving in there for about 2 laps.
Yeah.
Them tires fell off a cliff.
yeah.
Plus,
I
I had
mean,
the front wing damage as well.
But you got to get out the way. So,
I had
Jonesy, there
front wing
was some.
damage as
tell
well.
you what,
Go on.
you was safe on that straight. I didn't activate DRS because I'm an idiot. So when we went side by side the first time and then you went back ahead, it's because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't turn on the DRS because I'm an idiot.
Ah, you would have got me 100%. I was trying
I
to,
would have.
I was trying my hardest to limp it. No front wing. I was just losing so much. I had no traction out the corners.
On the on Azerbaijan, if you got no front wing on the straight, you actually go faster.
Oh, there we go.
I
that's
mean,
cool. Let's just take it off the calendar. So don't worry about this going
Mhm.
forward.
I've got to say actually, the soft tires. They went off a cliff very very quickly, didn't they? They just fell, and I think it was in France as well that it was proved, or proven, should we say, that the hard tires against the soft tires, when the softs die, the hards are far superior. In France, the pre-season races, the soft tires could not catch 22 lap old hard tires. 7 lap old softs against 22 lap hards stayed at 7 seconds consistent for about 5 or 6 laps. That's just how bad the softs are on this game. Now over to Jonesy. Some pretty honest, quite an honest response from Ghosty there regarding his own driving. Will you? I think the key question is here: will you be reporting?
We'll see. I have to look back
Mhm.
at the footage. I've got it saved.
Mhm.
Um, and if I deem it an unfair move and
Mhm.
preventing me and putting me in a dangerous situation, then more than likely yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a championship, and we
Of
just want
course.
to get as many points as
Yeah. Of course.
possible.
Yep.
And last week, I messed up my setup last week. I had too much understeer, and it was just undrivable. But
Mhm.
this week was better. I feel like I had the strat in the bag. Um, yeah.
I mean that last lap was quite tense.
Well, I knew that. I can't remember. Pera, is it?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
had Pera and an Alpha Tauri
pigment.
of Pigmen Man, yeah, coming really, really quick and fast at you guys. And it got to the stage as you were coming out of the castle section, we blinked and there was 4 cars there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a case of the majority. I'm going to give credit to Sparker. I forgot what was it, Ghosty?
Ghosty, yeah.
I'm going to give credit because he did park the car in certain areas legally, and he did slow me down big time, and he did defend really well at some times. So I'll give him credit where it's due. Um, because I was catching big time on him, and the driver in P1 probably wouldn't have made the guy in P1 not enough laps, and the tires were dying fast.
Yeah.
But I was on a mission to at least try and get P2. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, apart from obviously it being a safety car for 22 laps, let's say, the final few laps were pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There was some pretty decent racing. I just think it was. I don't think there would have been enough as many safety cars had certain moves not gone in. I think the tyre warming was a key thing to some of the crashes this evening as well. But there was also, I believe, maybe some other. Obviously, there was definitely other reasons to the safety cars, but we'll have to wait and see whether anything goes in and what the outcomes to those are. But as it stands, obviously, Anza is the winner, Ghosty in second, and Jonesy in third place. You guys obviously had a really good race for 6 laps. And I guess it's going to be whether Jonesy does decide to report to determine whether Ghosty loses the podium or just drops down a place. I mean, it got very close at the end, so any time penalties or whatever could see him dropping down to like 6th or 7th.
Damn.
Which is quite a drop. But I mean, on to next week. I'm not sure where you are next week. I haven't actually looked, but on to next week, and hopefully it's going to be a better race next week, and less safety cars. And maybe the directors will look at this race this evening and see whether the standard safety car is the way forward, or whether they do it race by race, track dependent. I think might be the better way forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's many of the drivers don't have the exposure really to the game so far. Myself included, it still feels relatively alien. I mean, we all know how to play the game, but the different mechanics and the updates and patches they're bringing in, everything's constantly changing, and the drivers are constantly having to adapt. So it's difficult for them out there. And I know, 22 laps of safety cars is boring. It's not fun, but you gotta, I mean, it's like today. You have to brake a lot earlier on some of the corners, and drivers behind just aren't, preempting that,
reacting to that, are they? Yeah.
And that's where the accidents are coming. So it's just a case of let the drivers get used to the game again, let them get used to the tracks, and then I'm going to assume that the racing will start to get better again, and we'll give you guys the racing, that we gave you last season, and hopefully it'll be a good watch for the viewers as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks very much for you two for joining us. Anza did say that his nephew's sleeping, so he can't actually join us this evening. So unfortunate that we can't hear from the race winner. But he did quite well, didn't he? He showed some serious pace, and he actually grew quite a big gap from you guys. I guess you guys fighting and defending each other was obviously a big point of that. But the questions are, can you guys repeat this next week, or are we do you think you guys are quick enough to get the win next week?
I'm not going to be big-headed, but I'm certainly going to try. I think Feldman saw me a few times last season, so he knows exactly how much I want to win each race. So
yeah, definitely. Well, it'll be good to see how you guys. I mean, obviously, I am over here on tier 2 now, moving forward, so I'll be able to witness some, better races moving forward. Let's hope, and hopefully next week is going to be a better race.
Did you check where we were next week?
I will have a look, actually.
Oh, please be a good track.
Tier 2... I don't even know where the calendar is in this server.
Silverstone. We're at Silverstone.
Oh, well. It's going to be a wet race. Let's face it, it's going to... Get your wet weather practice in. Let's go for that.
That will be a good one.
I must admit, I do love Silverstone. It's a great track. And it always brings some really good racing as well, doesn't it? So... keep out of trouble, guys, and hopefully see you guys on the podium next week.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. Shout out to Bevo, absolutely leaving me for dead on that safety car restart. He had me napping.
Yeah, it was actually a very good restart from him. But I think he got some damage, actually, and he just dropped backwards.
He did. And it's really unfortunate because he is sort of like, the guy who I always contend against. Me and him always fighting one another. We have a very good relationship outside of racing as well.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Racing, but
yeah,
nothing but respect for the guy, and absolutely ditching me on that safety car. So fair play.
Fair enough. Some good words to a rival, let's say. But yeah, thanks very much for joining us this evening, guys, and thanks for sticking out. The 6 laps of racing that we saw this evening was definitely well worth the wait in the end. And yeah, we'll be back again next week for, as Jonesy said, Silverstone next week, a much better track. But yeah, we're going to wrap that up there with the interviews. Thanks very much, guys. I do appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Wrapped up?
Yeah, wrapped up, mate. Thanks very much, Jonesy. I appreciate it.
We're off air now completely, yeah?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We'll wrap that up in a second. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. That was obviously an eventful race this evening, and we'll be back again next week for round 3 at Silverstone. But for now, I've been Zippo, partnered up with Feldman, and thanks very much for tuning in, guys. But for now, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, guys.